Good morning, sir. My name is Lee Beng Hong. My metric number is 150476, and I'm from Group 3. So now let me begin my presentation.
Good day, everyone. It is an honorable to be here giving a speech about the title Aesthetic in Buildings Are Important. Before that, does anyone here know that why aesthetic in buildings are important? Yes? No? Alright, so before I start my view on how important aesthetic in building can be, I would like to share a little story. There is a friend of mine once said to me that he thinks that aesthetic for a building means nothing, as everyone just want a home to stay, and he add on with the design can be just almost the same with the existing building is enough. But one day he was appointed to come out with a unique design, but he just simply made a normal design. Then he was scolded and he didn't get paid for that design. And instead of asking him to redo the design, the client reject of having him to design the building. So now let me share my point on the importance of aesthetic in buildings. So my first point will be improves dynamic of communities. Why do I say that? It is because architecture is not all about words but tears. Why? Because the impact of aesthetic buildings can transcend the personnel and even improving the communities. As an example, according to Rockwool Group, there are 73% of respondents expressed that beautiful architecture do improves the dynamic of community. Not just the respondents feel that way, even us, the communities, also feel that aesthetic of the building surrounding us will influence our interests in how buildings aesthetic looks and feels like. So next, my second point will be create a better view for people. To create a better aesthetic of building normally will be more to unity, proportion, scale, balance, symmetry, and rhythm. Why do I say that? This is because all these elements need to be combined and applied to the design so that the design will be more unique. Architects should break themselves free from standard practice of aesthetic, as they need to open their eyes wide to see more in order to create a more creative aesthetic. As an example, aesthetic design that will let others understand and feel it. Architects need to put themselves in the space where when they are designing in order they can feel the design, while aesthetic can be viewed at the same time. Architecture is a quite high complexity process of design, especially when it comes to aesthetic based on every personnel. So it is crucial that an architect have to invest more on the him or herself to explore more in aesthetic design. So my last point will be increase the sustainability of a building. In order to adapt to the changes of the weather, green construction can be known as a popular design to be built in commercial buildings. Commercial buildings produce a lot of pollutants and it also consumes a lot of global energy. Designers nowadays have to combine green construction into their design so that the building can be more sustainable. By having more green buildings will help the developers to reduce long-term costs and increase the overall profitability. Not just the cost and the profitability, we will also increase the sustainability of the building. As an example, smart devices can be used in buildings to reduce the consumption of electricity in buildings. Not only smart devices, even using LED lighting will improve the building's energy efficiency compared to the traditional fluorescent lighting. In this case, by reducing the energy use in the building, we can increase the sustainability of the building. So, as what I can conclude is, the three importance that I mentioned above, improving dynamic communities, create a better view for traveler, and increase the sustainability of a building is some crucial points that why aesthetic is important to buildings. A building that is practical without aesthetic, or a building that is aesthetically beautiful but without any practical use, meant nothing to purchaser, as it might be dangerous or it might look boring. Purchaser or consumer want buildings that is very practically can be used and safe with better aesthetic, so that they can stay, work, even study safely and with a peace of mind. So I can conclude that the safety level of the building is important, but the aesthetic of the building is also as important as the safety level, because I can say that in these modern days, nobody are willing to stay in an ugly or low aesthetic level building. So that's all from me. Thank you.